Happy Thursday! How's everybody doing out there? Hope you guys had amazing success. Today, let's see, what was my day? Closed 4, right? Landed 3. Was not a bad day. Have good comm systems, you guys. My phone lines today were amazing. But the main server, an hour of my life I'll never get back. Not a happy camper, all right? My wired stuff is legit. It's first class. But the main server went down for like 45 minutes to an hour. Adversity, folks, adversity. How are you going to handle adversity? Are you going to let it drop you down and capitalize you, or are you going to capitalize on your adversity? I dealt with it. Moving on. Okay, an hour of my life I was taken out of the field, the telesales arena, right? I was taken out of the ring. I could not go play for an hour. But then, once everything was resolved, went and fixed it, I got back in the arena and started swinging again. It was amazing. Go take care of your consumer. Get back in the ball game. Everybody wants to hit home runs. Nobody wants to step up to the plate. In telesales, you better be willing to step up to the plate. That's all it is. You're stepping up to the plate again and again and again. The majority of people that hit home runs, even in Major League Baseball, and I'm not a big baseball fan, all right, but the majority of folks that swing aren't always connecting. Their percentages get higher the more at-bats they have, the more skill they have. So you, as an agent, the more at-bats you have, the better you will be able to connect with your consumer, be able to connect your sale, right? Because you're meeting their needs before your own. It's not a huge thing when you think about it, but if you put their needs before your needs, it is phenomenal to see the difference. So face-to-face sales, it's our specialty. It is. I love face-to-face. I miss it so bad. It's been weeks and weeks since I've been able to be in the field because of coronavirus right now. So here I am. I'm married to my leather chair. I always thought this chair was kind of comfortable. Let me tell you, after a couple of weeks today, I'm like, dear goodness, did I wear this chair out in this many weeks? Are you kidding me? Like, it's a great chair. Office Depot, love you guys, but about time for more padding. Okay, is that my behind's getting flatter? Something's happening. Not good. So sit, be involved, enjoy where you're at. A lot of you guys may be introverts. I'm not a huge introvert. I'm not one to just sit on my behind all day. I like seeing people, interacting. When you're on the phone, it is a different technique, right? It's a different animal. It just is. It's the same consumer, but you don't have that face-to-face interaction that you can experience in your normal final expense sale. Over the phone, night and day, all right? So telesales are a different arena. Same clientele, but how are you handling that consumer? How are you administering their insurance? How are you articulating, right? The need for insurance, the need for permanent whole life protection. Final expense is not a temporary problem that's just going to go away. It will, but having a whole life vehicle where it's a permanent rate lock, guaranteed death benefit, and as long as they're honest and open on everything on their health application and get approved, it's going to guarantee a payment to their kids, their children. Their legacy is preserved. It's a big deal. It's a big honor to be an insurance agent, especially an independent insurance agent. I used to be captive. A lot of years I was captive. I had a great company, but they were a one-trick pony. They didn't have any options. They had one. Uno. You don't like the horse? Too bad, right? As an independent agent, you have so many great options. If someone's got, for example, a marijuana user that smokes marijuana, you can find a carrier that will consider that non-tobacco because they don't smoke tobacco, it's weed. They're okay with a consumer smoking a pipe. If it's not a cigarette user, guys, I know a carrier that will not consider that smoking. They're being extremely honest on the health app, and the carrier loves it. They're like, as long as they're not using a cigarette, we consider them a non-smoker. That's a game changer, you guys. Out in the field, big deal. I had a lady this lady smokes cigars. Cigars. right? Most carriers would consider that what? They would consider her tobacco. She's going to pay an extremely higher rate, right? The carriers that I have, I've got a carrier that's like no big deal. Did she use cigarettes? Is what they asked. Did you use cigarettes in the last 12 months? Her answer is ethically no. She does not use cigarettes. She's clean. A client that uses marijuana, non-smoker rate. In our arena of final expense, that is a huge competitive advantage, right? That's big. Why not? I took this lady from, if she was looking at a carrier for a smoker rate, she'd be like 30, 40 bucks. I was able to get her covered for $27, $24, depending on her, if we want to go apples to apples. I got her a couple $1,000s more than another agent that had talked to her. Didn't sell her anything, didn't like the price. Came to me, and I'm like, do you smoke? She's like, yeah, but just cigars. I'm like, you're talking to the right guy. Okay? I'm independent. I'm going to shop these carriers for you so that you don't have to. I represent the carriers that I believe in, that I think are going to be the best fit for you. Do I represent all carriers? Absolutely not. All right? But I will do the best for you based on what you tell me. As long as you're truthful with me, I'm going to find the best fit that I can. Is that fair? Clients are like, go for it. Do it. And when I gave her the rate, it was a done deal. So did I sell a bunch of expensive monthly premiums? No. I met my clients' needs based on their affordability, what they told me they were comfortable with. If a client tells you what they're comfortable with, you go with that. Do not stretch a consumer. The consumer can come back to you later and push you up in premium if they choose to. But don't go that way. I had a sale that I got today. An agent had called her and quoted like $100 a month. She was not having it. She hung up on him. I talked to her. I sold her a premium to meet her needs of final expense. It did not cost $100. We ended up getting her set up for like mid-30s. She loved me. It was done. We took care of business, and she referred people to me because of that. A lot of folks will miss business because you are coming at it not from a client's perspective. If you're not thinking like your consumer, you're going to get walked on. You will. You come at them with $100 premiums and you're thinking about your back pocket, shame on you. Shame on you as an agent. If you're going to be a good agent, you need to be good to your client. Without your client, you don't exist. So think about things big picture, all right? Think about them like they're your grandma, your mom, your sister. You treat them the way that they deserve to be treated. And by thinking about them that way and truly caring for them in that manner, the world will work itself out. I mean, it's not a bad week. I would have had more. Loser's limp, okay? Loser's limp. I closed 13. It's not that many days into the week. That's a pretty good shake. So since in 74 sales, okay, of 51,540, that doesn't stink. That's since the beginning of March. We're only, what, the 2nd of April right now? The 2nd of April, and I've got 74 sales, 51,540. That doesn't stink. Did that happen from selling a whale? Nope. Did not involve a single annuity sale. Did not involve a single replacement of any kind. All right? It involved 3 Medicare supplements, and the rest was all easy issue, whole life, final expense, type insurance. $5,000 here, $10,000 there, $20,000 here. All right? Not huge policies, but these clients needed me to meet a need in their lives, to protect their family, to protect their children, right, from what they wanted their life insurance policy to do. What did those people want? Certain people may just want cremation. I don't want my kids to pay for a cremation. Don't want it. I've experienced that. Listen to them tell you why they want it. And respond after they're done. Is it important to you to have that met? Is it important that that's paid for? I'm not a funeral home, but I'll create the money to pay the funeral home through your daughter's hands, right? I'm going to put $10,000 in her hands. It's more than enough to take care of a cremation and then some. Pretty nice service for $10,000, okay? And you're not paying the service. You let them know this is life insurance. Upon death, this is life insurance. This pays your daughter $10,000. What she does with it is up to her. But this will make sure that she is not in a spot that you don't want her to be. This puts money in her pocket. She controls everything. Is that okay? Most people are like, yeah. And I'm going to call her right now. Let's get her on a three-way call. We're going to create the money. And can you afford $30 a month? Whatever that number is. The number is the number. Don't shy away from the number. All right? Whatever that number is, just be ethical, be honest, be open. Just say, hey, this is it. Like, what you do with the information is up to you. But at least I'll give you the figures. And you can make your own decision on what you think is good. Right? What does a client think is good? If the client thinks it's good and it meets their needs, they're going to do business with you most likely. Will some people not? Yeah, absolutely they won't. There's people that will not do business with you. Doesn't matter if you're face-to-face. Doesn't matter if you're on the telephone. It's the same thing. The only difference is, are you willing and do you have the guts to be a student of your business? Are you going to work at it? Are you going to craft your business from face-to-face to telesales? It's a different animal. You're going to need a different skill set. You just will. You need tools. You will need tools. You're doing a completely different task. Same end result, but it is a different way of going about it. So just understand what you're doing. No different than anything else. If you're playing football and you're really good at it, and then you transition like Bo Jackson. If you're Bo Jackson, phenomenal. God bless you. Okay. Bo Jackson going from baseball to football. Sorry. It would take me a lot of work. I'm not exactly the most coordinated. I love insurance. I'm pretty good at it. I enjoy it. I do right by my consumer, but when it comes to sports, I'm probably two left feet sometimes. Certain sports, maybe that's my craft. All right? There's certain sports I'm pretty decent at. But then there's other ones I'm like, really? No. Okay? Water polo, dunzo. I drowned. Okay? So there's certain sports that you just don't know what you don't know. With insurance, it's really the same thing. It's not scary once you understand it. Telemarketing is scary for a lot of people. I trained telemarketing call centers professionally for 3 years from start to finish. These folks didn't know what they were doing. Once we were to the point where I put them on the phones, they completely were comfortable. The more comfortable you are and the more skilled you are, you're not afraid of it. With telemarketing sales, it's the same thing. If you've never stepped at bat and somebody throws a 100-mile-an-hour ball at you and you're playing baseball, that's scary. Now, if you're used to it and you know that this is what's going to happen and you're safe and just keep swinging, eventually you're going to connect and you're going to hit something out of the park, you're probably more comfortable getting up to bat because you've been trained and somebody coached you through that process. If you're learning the hard way, you don't want to take a ball to the britches, okay? You get hit in the rump and you're like, right? Sometimes with telemarketing or insurance, people run to market without being trained properly and you get hurt. You're not out of the game, but you get gun shy and you lose your confidence. You lose your ability to be who you know you are. So with insurance, it's the same thing. Get trained. Find somebody that is better than you are at something. Am I the best thing with telemarketing? No. Do I know my craft though? Absolutely I do. My numbers don't lie. Anybody can talk a big game. What are their numbers? You need to look at what are their actual paid for numbers. What are their submitted numbers? How many apps have they written in so many days? If they're not getting it done, don't take advice from anyone more messed up than you are. If you're listening to your advice of a buddy that's just being a loser about it, and he may be a good dude or a good lady, but if they're not actually like in the field getting results, quit taking advice from them is my advice to you. Like, do not take advice from people that are more messed up than you are. Don't do it. It's just a way to fail, all right? Take advice from people that are smarter than you are. I've learned a lot in my career from people that are really wise. Learning from people that are in the know. And it doesn't mean they know everything, but are they humble enough to actually like continually to shape their craft into a position that now they're ready to roll. Now they're skilled, right? Nobody gets a sharp knife without lots of passes. Okay, it doesn't happen instantly. They sharpen that knife. They hone their skill. That's where that comes from, honing your skill. They're sharpening the knife many, many times. It takes a lot of strokes to get that knife razor sharp. You want to come in dull into the telemarketing industry, it's going to be a brutal learning curve. You come in dull. You need to get trained well, understand how to speak to the consumer, what the consumer truly wants, desires, needs, develop a fact finder process, and then work into closing, and then take application and make sure you understand what that all looks like. If the consumer's comfortable with your confidence in the process because you know what you're doing, your results are going to be night and day. Night and day. Most people don't close 3 to 4 sales in the course of a day. Most people aren't making double digits in a week, even with face-to-face sales. Telesales, here I am as an independent agent, and I'm regularly closing 15 sales a week over the phone. I'm not the best there is, but I've learned to adapt. I've learned my skill set on how to handle the telephone. If you master it, it's going to be a game changer. If you stay in the same mindset of the face-to-face world, it's going to crush you. It's going to crush you hard. And I'm not meaning that in anything more than I care about you, but it will crush you. You do not want to do that. Get good advice. If you don't get good advice, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be like a great press. It's just going to make you not happy. So get good advice. Understand what you're doing. Become a student of your craft. Take good care of your consumer. But reach out. If you need help, like, share, subscribe. My email should be in the comments below. I'm not the greatest at YouTube by any stretch, you guys. Done insurance for a long time. I'm really passionate about it. But you're going to get times where you get tanked. Your mental attitude on how to handle yourself, all right? Right up in here, this is what is going to control you. That's your greatest asset for phone sales, your brain. What are you doing with it? What are you doing with it? Are you letting negative concepts, negative self-talk into your head as you're on the phone? That's not going to help you. Let me tell you. You're like, 10 people just told me no. Nobody buys insurance anymore over the phone. This is horrible. Negative self-talk is going to kill you. But negative self-talk happens because you don't have the skill necessary to execute on what you ultimately want the outcome to be. So get training. Get help. If your organization is captive, you should probably start talking to people that know what they're doing. All right? I was in a captive agency. I transitioned fast, and it was speed to market. And I am a better man because of it. What I've done in the last month and days is better than what I've done in 6 months of a captive agency. That's a big deal. And I had a huge renewable block that I walked away from. And I'm a better place for my own family because of it in a month and 2 days. That's a big deal for me. So it didn't come without hard work. You got to work your britches off. But being an independent agent gives you so much opportunity. Grow, thrive. Do not make excuses. Whatever you do, you look yourself in the mirror. You don't like what you do? You don't like your results for that day? I want you to look yourself in the mirror and go, you know what? I didn't put the effort. You know what? I didn't get trained. You know what? I didn't ask for advice. Okay? The buck stops with you. When you work for a big company or a captive agency, fine. I see it all day long. I used to work for a captive agency. They're great. Some people should be captive. There's a lot of people that do not have the ability to do the independent agent life. They should not be independent. They should work for a captive agency, go be told what to do, have a comfy little office, okay, and not create anything. But for the independent agent, you look yourself in the mirror, and if your results aren't what you wanted, you go change that. What are you doing to change your outcome? Are you working harder? Are you working smarter? Working smarter, in a lot of cases, will outwork the harder. It just will. You have to be willing, though, to put in the grunt. Put in the work. Get up early. Train, train, train. Major fighters in the world do not just hop into an arena and get it done. Not that I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But they normally train brutally. Look at Rocky. Okay? I know it's a movie. But just saying, that boy trained. He didn't just step into the ring and just start smoking people. He really trained. You have to go through a lot of sweat to get yourself to a place where you are proficient. With insurance, it's the same thing. You need to really hone your craft, get yourself in a place where you are finessed and you've gone through the paces to the point that now you're ready to roll. You can handle a consumer. Read your contracts. Cannot say that more. Read your contracts. Every life insurance contract, every carrier you have, read that thing. Get good. So that when you're in front of a consumer, you can handle them and help them because you know the path, right? You're keeping them within the guardrails of the policy. So you know, can they apply? Can they not apply? Is this person a place for AIG? Is it a Gerber case? Where do I need to take this consumer based on their health? You need to understand the track. So focus on what you have. Sell what you have and don't make excuses. Even when I was captive, I never made excuses for what I did. I worked hard. I had more application count than anybody in pretty much the state of Washington, if you look at the stats. Okay? I'm not going to tell you who I worked for, but I had more applications than anyone in the state of Washington as a captive agent for the company that I worked with. I loved them. Worked hard. I did what I did. But now, oh my goodness, what I've done within a month and 2 days is an insane amount of applications in a month. I've never done that in my career. But because as an independent agent, you have the world at your fingertips. You're in a place where you can take care of that consumer in such a great way. It's night and day. Seriously, it's like nuts. It's like you're used to driving a Geo Metro 3-banger and you just got into a Lamborghini. Okay? When you're stepping into the independent agent realm, that's what you have at your disposal once you understand it. You're able to help that consumer in such a different way. You can fine-tune their insurance and customize it based on their health, based on their income, based on their assets. What's their situation? You can find a product that will fit the consumer 9 times out of 10. As a captive agent, you have 1 or 2 products at best. So if they don't fit in that little slot, sorry, you can't do anything. So very blessed to be an independent agent. It's fun. It's rewarding. Is it hard work? Absolutely it is. But nothing good comes without effort. Nothing good comes without effort. So be willing to put the work in. If you do that, you're going to be super comfortable in the long game. Work hard to then later play hard. But once you start working, you're going to love it so much. I mean, you just will. It's like, take care of people. How fun is it to have people that rely on you to guard their families? Think about that. You're guarding the legacy that they want to create to pass on to their children. When you sell life insurance, you're guarding their families. That's a big responsibility and a blessing. Think about what you do. Do it with the absolute best of who you are. You take care of that person in the best way possible. And ultimately, your business will take care of you because you've been in proper alignment. Take care of the consumer, work hard, train well so that you can take care of the consumer in a way that is efficient and ethical. By doing that, your career will be off the chains, I promise you. So have a great night. Go kill it. Tomorrow is a Friday. I'll be back here in this lovely seat. Yeah. All right. Have a good night, you guys.